Hello and welcome to issue number 43 of Headline Heroes, a comedy podcast where we take today's headlines and create a comic book origin story. My name is Drew Mick.
I'm Nathan Haynes.
And I'm Tanner Ackerman.
And also...
I'm Derek Glasscock.
Hey! Hi, Derek.
Did I say that like a question?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I can edit it to sound better. That's what we can do. Don't worry about that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first Headline Heroes guest that we've had on.
Mm-hmm. Our own
very
crossover
exciting
event.
Yeah.
I am very honored.
Yeah. I thought we would maybe kick this whole thing off by asking you, Derek. Well, first off, thank you for being here, of course. But we were asked a few episodes ago what our comic book influences were, and I thought we would ask you the same question. What did you grow up with? What kind of got you on comics? What do you love?
See, now here's what's crazy. I had never even heard of comic books or comic book characters until I listened to you guys' show, and my whole world was expanded. I went back and read a bunch of back catalogs and watched some movies. So no, I
was like, what?
I thought you were going to say like all you know is the heroes we've created.
like, no, yeah, well, yeah. I went back to I started on episode 5 of you guys, and I went back to episode 1 and 2. I was like, man, why haven't I heard of comic books prior to this?
What are these superheroes?
How did nobody make this yet? This is crazy.
I grew up with Super Friends. That was my introduction to superheroes. I'm a bit older than you guys, so Super Friends and Challenge of the Super Friends and all that kind of good stuff. And then the original Batman movie, not Batman 66, but Michael Keaton's Batman. I was in 8th grade when that came out, so that's when I really got into comic books. But I was kind of not a comic book person until I was in my 20s, because it was like, oh, comic books are for nerds sort of thing. And I envisioned myself as a sports player.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
What sport?
Yeah.
I played baseball, but I was never very good at it. And there was always this, when you grow up, there's always that weird, this is for nerds, this is for not nerds, this is for, whatevers. And so I never really got into comic books until in my 20s, actually my late 20s. And then I'm a DC guy, like Marvel, but I really like DC, Superman, Batman, the trilogy, and then Justice League, Flash. And then I like a lot of the tertiary characters like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. And,
Booster Gold.
Yeah, really, really, really got into Mr. Miracle, the new run that's out on that. And that's kind of amazing. If you haven't read it, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Now, you mentioned the Keaton Batman. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that one didn't have Batman nipples, right?
No bat nipples in there. Bat nipples didn't come for another couple movies.
Batman.
But
that probably really cemented your love then when they put those in.
Yeah, but there are deleted scenes of the Bat Cod piece in the 89 Batman.
That's a good one. Is that the one? Okay, is that the one with the awkward turn in the Batwing where he gives the thumbs up?
Maybe.
It's a very, very pinpointed part of that movie that I always remember.
That's one with Robin in it. That wouldn't have been the 89 one, would it?
I don't think so, because I think that's the one where he just turns and gives a thumbs up to Commissioner Gordon. This is stupid.
Well, that's what we do here.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Drew.
We talk about very obscure things of very obscure, I wouldn't call that obscure, but many times obscure movies.
Derek, do you have a favorite superhero or supervillain?
Probably Batman.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Now, what are your thoughts on the Flash and how dumb he is?
Oh my god!
I think we can all agree Batman's faster than the Flash, though.
Undoubtedly on foot. Batman always wins a foot race.
Always.
He's got every contingency planned out. He knows what Flash is going to do, so he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That settles it.
No, I don't hear any disagreement, so we can move on.
That's the number one argument with Batman always, is if he has enough time to play and he's gonna get it done.
Not hearing any disagreement.
Weird. Sure, you can just
anyway, Nate, what do we do here?
Oh, that's right. We're doing a podcast. I thought we were just talking about how slow the Flash is. Anyway,
Oh my God.
on this podcast, what we do every week is we scour the internet. We pull out the strange and bizarre headlines that you all know and love. We put them in a list. We select one at random, and we use that as an origin story for a superhero or supervillain. So I definitely. What did we do last week, Tanner? I'm gonna skip the bit and just ask you what we did.
Last week I can't believe you don't remember because it involved a pineapple and a naked person.
Oh God.
Where we created a Men in Black type organization, but
yes,
for paranormal
okay.
stuff. That went by the name Spook, which stood for Special Paranormal Operations. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
The character we were following went by code name Goldilocks, and I don't remember if we gave her a real name.
Karen Spook of the Spook family.
Oh, that's right.
Into the spook fortune.
And
Yeah.
she made her fortune through the Scream masks, I believe.
That's right. Yes, the ghost face
I'm here
mask,
for you.
famous from Scream. Appreciate it. Okay, so this week that means we're doing a villain, and the article I've already picked at random is number 5 for you guys, and that headline is "Man in Bear Costume Arrested for Tearing Apart Tents of Black Friday Campers," and this was submitted by Max Marvel.
Thank you, Max Marvel. I think this is the 3rd Max Marvel submission, so thank you.
Oh, good. I actually missed the bear costume part, and I just heard bear. I guess I heard bear arrested for tearing apart tents on Black Friday. And I was like,
booked
wow.
Yeah, they just arrested the bear.
Putting ink on his paws, you know.
This bear who really hates capitalism.
Okay. That's hilarious.
That is great. Derek, since you're the guest here, I want to hear your initial thoughts from this headline.
I wish I was the man in the bear costume. I don't know. Initial thoughts in what way?
Like, what is your knee-jerk reaction? Like, what could a superpower be from that?
Oh, shit. I don't.
Welcome to the struggle of headline
Man.
heroes.
Derek, you're the guest. I'm going to throw you in front of the bus.
Exactly.
A superpower from a man in a bear costume.
Now,
Is
is
it okay? Yeah.
I was gonna say, are we gonna go the more obvious man in the bear, or did something happen to one of the people who were in line as a result of this horrible event happening to them?
He got bit by that werebear.
But
Yeah,
but
man in
he's
a
in
bear
suit, though.
costume. I think that was
Yeah.
a real bear.
And he's a
bear.
villain. What if he's a guy that just has a bunch of different suits on at any time? Like he's wearing the bear suit and he's like, oh, I need to do something with this bear suit. I'm going to go scare the Black Friday guys. And then he peels off the bear suit and underneath it's like a clown costume.
Oh, and then he's gonna, look at
And
me.
now he has to do
business
something with the clowns. Yeah.
He's gonna go scare Drew.
Yeah.
Scare Drew. And then after Drew is peeing his pants, he peels that off and now he's in a banana costume.
So it's all about what suit he's wearing.
He's always got a suit on. It's like
Does-
an infinite suit. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, so he was struck by lightning inside of a
No.
suit store. Well,
He's at a costume shop. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the costume shop makes a little more sense.
The costume shop was struck by lightning.
Yeah, this sounds like the kind of thing that you would find that Christopher Walken would sell you at the back of a costume shop. It sounds like a
Yeah.
mystical suit. And then
Is that a reference to the 9 Lives movie?
no, I think that's
I think-
what, wait, Tanner, is that a
Yeah,
reference?
kind of. Oh, 100%. It's. I mean, you were referencing 2 movies at once, I think, without realizing
Yeah, I
it.
was referencing Click specifically for me.
Oh,
that's what I was envisioning.
I thought you were referencing the terrible Kevin Spacey is a cat movie that just came out this last year.
Yeah,
I think Christopher
that-
Walken sold him.
Oh, 9 Lives.
Yeah, yeah, he 100% did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
Remember, guys, we talked about that movie.
Yeah, I try to forget. I kind of like that idea. It's new, it's unique. It's brings a
So fresh.
fresh flavor to this.
Whenever we
Alright.
get tired of him, he just switches suits, and it's a whole new thing.
Does he
does
is
something
he
else.
is the power just that he gets a new suit? Does the suit, like, does he get bear powers if he's wearing the bear stuff, or clown powers?
Whatever those entail.
Whatever that is, he can really honk that horn.
Well, we've all seen the movie Clown, right?
No, why every time?
Where the
Why?
dad, he is
Yeah,
renovating
I
that
know.
house, and he opens that trunk, and he puts on the clown costume, and he starts to turn into a demonic clown. He starts eating
Yeah,
kids.
you guys have seen that, right?
My point is, that's a clown power.
Eating children.
They all have it.
Yeah, yeah,
What? Okay.
Every circus I've ever been to is a massacre. So yes.
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you, Derek. Derek needs to come on more. So back to the actual him getting the costume. My thought was, like, he's on the run from the cops and runs into a costume shop and, like, holds the owner at gunpoint and makes them give him a costume to wear, and they give him like a cursed costume.
Oh, so it's store owner's revenge.
A costume?
Yeah, costume.
Yes.
So, like, when he's done, he goes to take off the costume after he's gotten away, and he takes it off, and he's got just another one on underneath, and he can never get rid of the costume.
Oh, so he can never be what he was before.
So he's a tragic villain as well.
Well, those are always the best
Exactly.
villains.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Child's Play, but instead of being put into a doll's body, he's just got a costume on.
And he never knows what the costume will be.
Exactly.
So I think then this is probably, I think what we're arriving at is that he doesn't get any powers from each costume. He's just, his power is inherently he can switch to a different costume.
Can he seek out someone to have powers imbued within him? Like some sort of like villain serum?
Flesh.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Because
I think it's cooler if he gets powers from him.
it is cooler. What do you, I guess I don't follow. What do you mean by seeking out someone with the villain serum? Oh.
Or maybe he's trying to find somebody to take the suit off of him, and then that backfires.
Oh.
And now
Yes.
There we go. That's the classic.
He's got a
Classic
best
thing right
friend
there.
who works at Science Inc.
Science Inc. Yeah.
Mm.
New
And
company.
he gives him he gives it to him, and then that makes him so, like, what would happen if the next suit that he pulls or that he starts wearing, it's Superman? Does he get Superman powers, or
So he's faster than the Flash.
No, that's not.
And other things, I'm sure. But
I wonder how long it is going to be before that joke gets very old. Tanner
Almost
thinks
never.
we could go on forever with that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God.
Or does he get a constant superpower that is associated with costumes? I don't know what that would be. Does he get the ability to pick what costume is next? Is it a kind of thing where he can never wear the same costume again after he uses it? It's kind of like a staff of one thing. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
I don't know. I like the idea that he can't pick them because that makes for wackier situations.
Okay.
But I feel like the Superman thing, that's like way too overpowered because he would just never take that costume off, right?
Probably.
So maybe it has to be like generic costumes with no copyright.
That's the thing with this costume.
He's like a butterfly at one point, so he can fly, but that's really about it.
Oh, man.
sexy witch.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
sexy witch.
every year new costumes come out, and he like looks on Amazon at all the new generic ones, and he's like,
What
"Oh
can we do?"
boy, oh man, why do I have to? When is sexy pencil gonna come up?"
I need
I
that for
just
the next
know it.
heist I'm planning.
It's perfect.
You said butterfly, and then I had visions of, like, what if he, like, because he's flying around in the sky, that's what starts recent rumors of the Mothman or something like that.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I like the idea of generic costumes. Like, what if instead of Jonah Hex, it's just like scarred cowboy man? That's what they call the costume. Something
And
like
instead of
that.
Superman, it's just like super guy who just doesn't really have as many of the powers of Superman. It's mostly just like looks very good and can sort of hover a little bit.
Faster than a speeding bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. I think that kind of fleshes out his powers. Anything else we need to discuss with that before we kind of move on?
I think it would be cool is if it was extremely painful for him to peel off every costume.
That's kind of a weakness.
Yeah, and
good.
like when he goes to see about getting the thing removed, the guy is there's a picture of him or a panel of a scalpel trying to cut off the bear costume like a piece, and the guy's screaming, and underneath is just clown.
Oh.
It's a horrifying image, but I love it.
He's just screaming and it's such intense pain. Ooh, does that maybe kind of lend towards, like, he goes to his friend and his friend is trying to help him, but it's so painful to be doing all this stuff. Maybe that kind of lends into him going a little crazy and becoming more of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Does he kill his friend?
I think it's one of those things like where the friend's like trying to come up with a way to get him out of the costume, but the serum isn't ready, but he like demands he does it anyway.
Oh.
And that makes him like get the powers but go kind of crazy, and then he just kills his friend. Like kind of Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man
Mhm.
And
movie
in
style.
a rare moment of lucidity, he's so agonized by what he has done before he is once again taken over by a handsome cowboy costume.
It's so handsome. What's
Or a
okay,
green
how
Power
does-
Rangers costume.
How does handsome cowboy differ from regular cowboy?
There's like a little special stuff you put on your tooth so that when you open your mouth to smile, it goes ding, and like it have a
Oh,
shiny smile.
okay.
It's a pretty advanced costume, but I
That
mean,
is
I figure
pretty
if he's
handsome.
so handsome.
So handsome.
Any other weaknesses?
I guess just like crappy costumes.
The lack
No.
of knowledge and foresight is also sort of a weakness. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't know
trying-
what's coming next.
He's trying to hide from the police, and then suddenly, I can't think of anything other than a clown. He's just a clown in the
running
middle
around
of
in
it.
a screen.
He
mask.
becomes a spotlight. That's a costume, and he's just shining a bright
Oh,
light.
sexy
so the cops know
spotlight, yeah.
where he is. Yeah, sexy spotlight.
the 2016 year. Yeah.
So you laugh. I bet I can find a spotlight costume right now.
Okay, everybody,
Okay.
wait.
Hang on. Google's loading.
Oh
Hang
God.
on. Nope. What? That's just Alice in Wonderland. What the fuck?
Oh,
Oh no, I can't find it.
Oh.
I guess you guys are right.
Yeah.
who could have seen that coming? Nobody really.
Well, that's just Toy Story. What? Google.
Oh yeah, sorry. So you don't think that lamp from Toy Story is sexy? Jeez, Tanner. Maybe there are
Oh,
different
there you
forms
go.
of
Yeah,
beauty.
the Pixar lamp.
Wow.
Yeah, that works.
Suddenly a lamp can't be sexy. Can't believe you right now.
My preconceived notions of beauty.
Mhm.
Well, cool. I would say we could have a discussion about costume, but that's pretty much covered.
What is he doing? Like now that he's gone insane, what's his end game? Like what is he doing as villainous activities besides terrorizing Black Friday campers?
Yeah, why did he terrorize them? Does he hate capitalism?
What if that was just an accident? Like he had just like been transformed into the cursed costume guy, and he's a bear, and he's disoriented, and he just happens to be on Black Friday, and just happens to tear all this stuff up. So the cops come, and then he runs to his friend, and he's still it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then he goes crazy trying to get it off, and then I guess revenge, would be the ultimate motivation for this guy.
Maybe he doesn't blame himself for his friend's death. He blames what happened to him. So then he's trying to get revenge on that.
On big costume, yeah.
He tears him.
Oh, so
What was that?
does he go through like from costume shop to costume shop trying to find the guy who gave him the cursed costume?
Or maybe he has to find the origin of the cursed costume.
Oh, then he goes down that rabbit hole. That's a pretty big rabbit hole. And he's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe eventually he just decides that if he can't be like everybody else again, everybody else is gonna have to be like him. So maybe he tries to make everybody else into like his overarching evil plot is to make everybody have to wear these costumes that never can come off.
So he's got he invents the costume ray gun.
That's
he
very
leverages
good.
the science that his friend was using
Yeah.
and sort of like reverses it with the reverse button.
And so like all his henchmen are wearing like generic costumes.
And they can't take him off.
You got ballerina, sexy truck, you know.
You got non-denominational monk.
So,
You got
some
that.
guy's wearing the Batman Forever costume with the nipples. We're not really sure where he found that one. That one,
Except it's not Batman. It's not Batman. It is winged
Winged adventure.
Crusader.
winged
yeah.
person.
Winged,
Yeah.
winged person with nipples.
That's what they call it.
Boss, can I change? I don't want to be winged.
No.
No, you have to stay as winged person with nipples. We talked about this.
It's in your contract.
Ooh,
they got-
contracts. Do they have 401ks? What does he offer as benefits? I'm interested.
Dental.
Oh,
Unless you're the cowboy with the glistening tooth, then you don't need that.
it's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. What other costumes are there? Because I was liking that.
You know, there's some weird ones. Like every year we go and we walk down those aisles, and like this year there was like, well, I think in years past there's been like just giant egg for some reason. Like breakfast food featured very prominently in the costumes I saw for some reason. But the kid who was wearing it looked much too old to be in the picture. Looked much too old to be wearing a giant egg.
Boy.
But I guess.
That's big costume, picking up the year trends, I guess.
Mhm.
Here's a question. What's everyone's favorite costume that they've ever worn for Halloween? I dressed up as Captain America once, and I really like that costume. I have that shield.
No, that was in college, right?
That was, yeah. or maybe a better question. What's the most you've done for a Halloween costume?
I was Rocky Balboa once, and I had to dye my hair black.
Did you actually dye it, or did you spray it?
No, I was straight up dyed. My hair was black for quite a while.
Why would you do that? See, I was Spock one year, and I sprayed my hair black, and I also cut my hair so that it was that lovely, lovely straight edged across my forehead. But then the next day, I immediately went and got a haircut, so it fixed it. That's probably the most I've done. I
shaved my entire head after it.
Boy, when was this?
2010, I think.
Huh. I guess I missed that weird phase in your life. Derek, did you have anything?
In 7th grade, I went as one of the members of ZZ Top.
Okay.
Wow.
So I made a big fuzzy guitar out of, I cut it out of plywood, and I had a big fake beard on. That was fun.
That's awesome. Now, did you actually grow the beard in 7th grade?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. I was an early bloomer, and I was like, well, I know I'm going to be for Halloween this year. So I just grew out that beard. Yeah.
You really, and what was amazing is you grew that overnight. You just. Yeah.
I dyed it white. Yeah, I really grunted and forced it out. It's like one of those Play-Doh factories with the spaghetti. It just came out my face, dyed it white, and then I cut it off the next day. Yeah.
And then you were never able to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
No, not now. I'm cursed with
all
this
your life
patchy
hair
beard
out in one day.
Yeah. I blew my load real early on that one. Yeah.
Prematurely. Nate, did you have anything?
Yeah, I guess I have two. Well, the one I probably put the most work into was actually the one that my parents probably put the most work into. When I was young, I went as a Game Boy. So I basically had this cardboard apparatus that sat around my body, and I was a Game Boy with the little screen and stuff, and that was pretty good.
Oh my God.
I know. Props to my mom for putting that together.
Are there pictures of that?
Probably somewhere.
Oh my God, I have to see them.
Hold on. My mom's
messaging your mom.
Mom, if you have those photos, just send them my way.
Yes.
Otherwise, I do still probably my favorite costume ever, despite the fact that I didn't work very hard on it. Was
I know.
The time I purchased the Dharma Initiative jumpsuit on eBay, and then I just kind of did a bunch of Lost references as a costume, and I still have it. It's not really topical enough anymore for me to wear, and at this point, it's like I just keep it for sentimental reasons. But it was probably my favorite costume.
When you say you still have it, do you mean you still have the jumpsuit, or you still have it? I've got the ability to make Lost references.
All of those. All of the above.
I still got it.
Oh my God, Nate, what are you doing? Oh, he's riding Not Penny's boat on his hand. That's a fun reference.
Get it? Remember that show?
Get that? Tanner gets it. I know he gets it.
No, I super don't.
Derek,
but the Smoke Monster, though, Tanner, you know. This guy, he gets it.
I watched Lost begrudgingly. It was one of those things I might as well watch it. Everyone else is. And it ended up being okay. I watched it after it was done. I binged it on Netflix.
Yeah,
that's a good binge.
I don't remember any of it, though, to be honest, because I watched so much of it so fast. And it was really such a convoluted mess towards the end.
I love me some Lost, but they did not know what they were doing for part of it. And then
it should have been about
2 seasons shorter.
Good versus evil. They knew from the beginning, Nathan.
Mm-hmm. All they had to do was pick a topic so nebulous that no matter where they ended up, they could be like, no, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I will never watch that show. It just sounds too complicated.
What if I told you there's a dog in it?
Oh, well, now I gotta.
All right.
I think there's a boat at some point, too. I don't remember, though.
There's a few boats.
I know there's a polar bear.
Yeah, that's episode 1.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
Never mind then.
Well, I mean, they come back, but...
I'll argue that the first episode is the best episode too.
It was I love the first episode. That's what got me hooked.
For a long time, that was, I don't know if it's still the case, but for a long time, that was the most expensive pilot ever produced by network television. I don't know if that's still the case.
No, probably the Inhumans. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Anyway,
let's maybe should we name this individual?
Yeah. Oh, are we thrown to an ad?
Yeah, we are.
And here it comes.
And here's an ad.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Pappas,
And I'm Julie Ken.
and we are the host of the Meddling Kids podcast, a review of all things Scooby-Doo.
We are going through every episode in the Scooby-Doo canon to explain all the questions you meddling kids have.
Right, exactly, like, is Fred a serial killer? How old is Fred exactly?
Why does Daphne have such bad posture?
Where do these kids live, and is pot legal there?
Where is this place? I think it's Florida. Anyway, stick with us for the Meddling Kids podcast, a groovy review of all things Scooby-Doo.
And we are back. All right. Naming. What are we going to name this guy? Anyone got any ideas right off the bat?
Derek actually, I think, threw out one way early on. When
I
he
thought
made
you
the
were just
pun on
going to
the
throw
costume.
Derek under the bus again.
Derek,
Well,
I
I
think you
think
should go
Derek's
first.
got an idea, right? Hey, Derek?
Several.
What were you saying, Tanner?
Calling it a curse tomb.
Oh. Yeah, that is actually a pretty good idea.
First,
I'm going to write that
very
down.
good.
We should maybe explore the space a little more,
Oh, for sure.
but that
Cursed
is a good
stew.
idea.
His name is Stu.
No.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, his name is Stuart.
Okay, at least give me this.
Stuart Little.
Yeah, that's never been used before. Derek, did you say you had ideas or?
No, I was being facetious.
No, now I'm really hung up on Kirstu.
Kirsten was so good, is the thing.
I know. I almost felt like I shouldn't say it right away, but I felt like I had to get it out there.
I don't know. Is there anything with like costume shifting or shape shift? No, it's really just Kirstu. Wow. Okay,
Damn it.
we got.
I mean, when a name, sometimes this happens. When a name fits, it just fits, and we just are done.
It's been so long since that happened, though. I don't know what to do with myself now.
It's all Derek's fault.
Damn it,
Sorry.
Derek.
I just thought of a wrinkle that I like on that would be funny for this guy. What if he was a male dancer prior to this, and now his costumes are none of the sexy costumes?
Or
So
they
his
think that
motivation-
they label themselves as sexy costume, but we all know, no, it's not that way. Why not?
I don't know. I'm just scrolling through all these costumes and they're terrible. And I was just thinking, it would be funny if a guy who makes his living being sexy can't be sexy anymore
What made
in
him
a
turn to
space that is designed for being sexy.
What made him turn to being chased by the police that one fateful night?
Mm.
Was he running on hard times? Maybe he's aging, and maybe he's to the point where he's just like, oh, maybe I'm not as sexy as I thought I was. People won't hire him. He's having a hard time making ends meet.
Mhm.
Resorts to that life of crime. Oh man, I don't know, but I think that's deep.
Say it is.
I think so. Yeah, that's good. How I guess since we got okay, yeah, his name is Kirstu. How do you guys imagine a bank robbery going down for this guy? What would happen there? Is he using his henchmen? How does he use his costume?
Does he just like it's very painful to remove these costumes? Is what we have sort of decided. So does he try and keep ripping them off until he finds one that works, or does he just try and make it work with what he's got? He currently has Frumpy Banana. Like, is that?
I can't think of anything better to rob a bank with, though.
Yeah. I mean, the one problem is it's very yellow and very vibrant and very easy to pick him out.
Yeah, but maybe that's the point. What if he robs the bank with Frumpy Banana, and then when he's making his escape, he peels it off, and now he's like sexy trebuchet, except it's not sexy at all.
No, it's unsexy trebuchet with nipples.
So if he robs a bank, he goes in as Frumpy Banana.
Yeah.
And then everybody calls it in. It's like, oh, there's a Frumpy Banana, robbing the bank. He takes a single hostage into another room where he peels off the Frumpy Banana very painfully and puts it on the other guy.
God.
And now he's something else. He's like dirty hobo, right?
All the while,
And so-
this poor hostage.
This poor hostage becomes Frumpy Banana, and they come out and they arrest Frumpy Banana, and while Dirty Hobo gets away with all the money.
No, it wasn't me. It was that dirty hobo, and they're like,
Oh
Yeah.
no, that
you
looks.
stay quiet, Frumpy Banana.
Yep. And then they beat him senselessly. Yeah.
Now that's a interesting thing. Is there any power transference when he gives the costume to someone else, or is it's just a regular costume?
I would imagine it'd be like akin to wearing a shedded snake skin.
So just
Like
really
I don't
gross.
become a snake. Yeah. It just feels weird.
Oh yeah, you do feel, especially when you just witness this individual just screaming in pain as he rips it off, holding a gun pointed at you, and then says, "Hey, put this on," all the while he's panting and now is a dirty hobo.
So I guess that's how we see it going down, Drew.
I like it. I'm glad we had that talk, mostly so we got to say Frumpy Banana. It's finally, we've been racking our brains trying to figure out a way to say Frumpy
That's our-
Banana in this podcast.
It's our sleeper cell activation code. So
Yeah. If you're listening, you know what to do.
So after this guy's done a bunch of stuff, like robbed a bunch of banks or whatever he's doing,
Yeah.
And then somebody would eventually catch on that maybe somebody's behind it, like somebody's changing it. What would the newspaper label the guy? He'd have to have one of those like newspaper names, like, the Zodiac Killer sort of thing.
Would they call him maybe just a jab to his costume, something like the unsexy bandit or something like that?
Sorry,
Like they
the
really
unsexy
want
what?
to bandit. I don't know.
Bandit. Okay.
I don't know. What's a good? What would a newspaper name someone?
Like that headline catching name. Something about changing, maybe?
Changeling. No.
There you go.
No. This is the usual hemming and hawing
Here
that
it
we
is.
get
Here we go.
from the names.
We in it now.
The costume.
'Cause I mean, like, is it alliterative? Like the costume,
Probably.
the costume something, or the masked something.
Yeah, or like it's usually like a clever pun.
What's another name for robber or bank robber?
Bandit, thief, stealer,
Stealer.
bad man.
Yeah, you pulled up that thesaurus, I see.
My very specific thesaurus of
Just-
of crime stuff.
Mm-hmm. You've thrown a curveball at us, Derek. We don't know what to do.
Oh.
You've caught us with our pants down.
I just thought Kirsten was too easy.
That's true.
And it was.
It was, and it was. It very much was.
Oh,
What?
what about something like quick change? Because when I used to work in retail, like a quick change artist was a guy that would come in and be like, "Oh, can you break this 100?" and then try to confuse the person who is breaking the money to give him back more money than he is.
I've never
Have you
heard
ever-
of this.
You never heard of a quick change artist? Like they'll come in
No.
with like $100, or they'll pay for something like that's $5 with $100, and then we get the change back. Like, oh wait, did you give me enough? And they'll start breaking 20s back and forth, and they'll try to confuse the teller or the person at the register, the cashier, into giving back more than is the appropriate amount of change.
All I can think of is that scene from The Naked Gun.
Can you spot me 20?
Yeah. I've never heard of that, like
You never heard of a quick
like
change
that
artist?
particular con, but I like that idea because it works on a few levels with this this costume guy.
Yeah, I love that. That is
Quick change. Does this still like happen?
What,
I
quick
imagine
change?
so. As long as currency exists, I imagine
Yeah.
it will.
Huh. And as long as people are dumb. Wait, they have it in American Gods?
What's that?
A very good novel you should read.
Did Stephen King write it?
no.
Then no, thank you.
It is also a Showtime series. If you want to skip the book.
Do you
book is
only
good,
read
though.
Stephen King novels?
No, not really. I just,
Yeah, that's the
okay.
thing you got to know about Tanner is he can't read anything. He was a very bad student, very poor
oh my
student.
god.
He just can't read.
He just can't read unless it's Stephen King.
Oh,
That's so not true.
It's a very specific disability.
Hey, you said
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
So are we gonna? Are we? I mean, I'm happy. I like quick change. I think that's more clever than our usual name.
Yeah, you called us. You called us out on the name. We were okay.
I like Kirsten too, but I was looking at the time and we'd only like recorded for 28 minutes. I didn't
Yeah,
know how long
that
you
is
wanted the
also
episode to
true.
be.
Quick Change is very good. I think maybe we pivot, call him Quick Change after this thing that I just have learned about today, and then he's wearing the costume.
Oh,
There you go. So the item's called the
good.
costume.
Yeah, it's a.
He's like, hey, try on this costume. And he's like, what was that?
What did you say? I'm costume.
So then his motivation becomes finding out about the costume. Like he's at the library.
There's a deep
in like
deep
the
lore
cursed
behind
relics
it.
section.
Yeah.
It dates back to biblical times.
Yeah.
Joseph's Technicolor
Joseph,
coat actually was the costume. The reason it was so many different colors is he kept trying to rip it off, and it was just a different
was
color every
red
time.
and yellow and a dirty hobo. People love my coat of many costumes. Yeah, that's that. Yep, that's the first instance of the costume.
So how do you remove the costume, though?
Yeah, I think that kind of gives this guy hope that maybe it can be removed.
Unless, of course, Joseph just died, and then the costume came off.
Death.
Maybe that's what he's really worried about. That it was.
Is it like a Spider-Man symbiote where it like finds a new host afterwards?
Yeah, it was just squatting in that costume store, waiting for the perfect individual.
After it falls off, it just crawls to the nearest thrift store, and then somebody will come.
Is that a frumpy banana crawling across the? Yeah.
Makes its way to a thrift store, just hangs itself up.
Halloween is coming.
Just wait till next year, and then the issue ends. Oh,
So death is the only way to remove the costume, huh?
I mean, that's definitely one way. Maybe there is another way. We just don't have to flesh that out. He's just spending his time trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
That's his mission.
And he needs to keep robbing banks because he needs to fund his experiments.
To fund it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And then intermittently, he's seen like doing things like standing next to a church bell and ringing it, hoping the vibrations would knock it off.
At the end of the day, he
for-
just looks like an idiot up there.
It's worked for Spider-Man. Why won't it work for me?
I'm sorry, I'm down an IMDb rabbit hole of the 1990 movie Quick Change with Bill Murray and Randy Quaid.
Nice. You know, I've seen that movie, and I think in that, like, Bill Murray dresses as a clown, maybe?
Yeah, so I'm not
All
To
ties
rob a
in.
bank? Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Dresses as a clown, and if I want to, I think he does something very similar to what I suggested. Is Randy Quaid in that movie too?
Randy Quaid,
and
yeah.
And Gina Davis? Yeah.
I'll have to watch this movie.
Yep.
Thanks, Tanner. All right, well, is there anything else we need to talk about? What's a comic book cover?
Is it that scene where his friend is trying to remove? I may be too grisly, but trying to remove the first costume from it. So you see like the outer shell of a werewolf costume, while underneath you can see there's like this clown costume.
He's peeling it off, and he's definitely in just extreme agony.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be that scene where he's got that hostage and he's Frumpy Banana. Although Frumpy Banana maybe isn't the good thing to feature on a comic book cover. No, it is.
You want to give out your best card right away?
Yeah, you're right. We gotta hold that close to heart. Really bring them in. Don't want to give that away. I don't know. Any other ideas? I think it's gotta be him mid-change.
Yeah, it has to, because that just explains like the entire power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the only problem I have with the Frumpy Banana hobo change is if you didn't know that what you were looking at is from the comic book cover, it just looks like a hobo was wearing a banana costume. And you're like, all right, I guess this is the hobo banana villain. Not really sure how that. All right.
Well, yeah. That's a true point. That's a fair point. That's why I was kind of saying maybe not Frumpy Banana. But really, like, if you think about it, any two people that we pick is just going to be like, oh, it's just this person was wearing this costume and underneath was this costume.
At the very least, with the scene with the friend, you can tell that like this is being surgically removed from him,
That's true.
and like he seems to be in pain.
Fine. But then in the background, you see a shredded Frumpy Banana.
Yeah, sure, why not?
There you go.
Yeah. It's
The
got
friend
we
is
gotta
all
eating
in.
a very frumpy banana.
Oh, it's foreshadowing.
A clever fan will later notice that was there.
Derek, did you have anything to weigh in on that?
No. No, I thought that was good.
Okay. Well, I think, did we get it all then?
I think so.
We got it in one?
Yeah.
One
All
take. No edits.
Oh, there's going to be some edits.
You don't need to edit this one at all.
Well, I think this is an edit right now.
Is it though?
Well, okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much that. Thank you, Derek, for coming on and
No, thank you.
and joining in getting a little peek behind the curtain of what Headline Heroes is all about. Thank you so much. Did you have any things that you would like to pitch for yourself? Where can people find you?
Sure. I just want to let you guys know that every week when I listen to your show,
Yeah.
I'm talking to the car stereo saying, no, it should be this.
Oh,
Just so you know.
Oh, okay.
okay.
No, you should have named him Excelsior.
No.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
let's scrap this episode. It's dumb. I'm done with this.
Every week. Every character should be named that.
Even
until
when
you
it just
eventually
doesn't
name
make
somebody.
sense. No, guys, the clear Excelsior, the fun Stan Lee thing. Yeah.
Oh, is that a Stan Lee thing?
Yeah, that's a Stan Lee thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, except with eggshells in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
yes. See, that's why it's so clever.
Someone mentioned an egg costume earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
Does he-
No.
No, it was a fried egg,
he-
if that helps.
He can say Excelsior as soon as he transforms into it.
yeah, just give me that. Just
Okay.
come on.
Yeah.
That's-
The chances
alright.
are so low that I'm fine with that.
Or it could be something like a real throwaway, like, as long as I'm an egg, I'll be known as Excelsior. And then like something like a eagle comes down and swoops and like grabs his costume and peels it off.
Oh, and he's just screaming.
So yeah, it's and then
damn
he's no
eagles.
longer
that.
Excelsior. Yeah. It's like 3 panels and then that's it.
Yeah, that's a fun little Easter egg.
Excelsior. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to find me, I have a podcast called The Wild Pitch, and it comes out every other Wednesday. And we take 3 random elements and we use them to inspire ridiculous pitches for just about anything. You guys have all been on the show before. Drew is always willing to jump on the show at any
there.
given moment. Yeah. And I always appreciate that. But it's always a good time. And it's every other Wednesday. Wildpitchpodcast.com. Wildpitchcast on Twitter. I also do a movie podcast that comes out on Tuesdays. It's called the Pop-Up Filmcast. My friend Keith, that's his show, and we take a subject and then we draft out a movie film festival. It's kind of a draft sports style. I always try to be the wild card in the episode because I think it's fun. Like recently we did an episode inspired. We had to draft out films inspired by food, and I picked cannibal movies. So I always try to do stuff like that, just because I find it more amusing.
For sure.
And that's every Tuesday, Pop-Up Filmcast. And then, if you want to find me, I'm usually sulking in a corner somewhere, so you can find me there too.
Well, thank you again, Derek. We really appreciate
No,
you
thanks for
coming on.
inviting me on. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. Well, hopefully we can keep doing this now that we have a taste for what having a guest on the show is like.
Well, so now I've either set the bar really high or really low. So sorry, or you're welcome to future guests.
I think you set the bar very high, so high. Mostly that Excelsior comment, really.
You took a long time to say that. You've set, Derek, you've set the bar.
Very,
Very set.
it's very set.
Very set.
Yeah, it's up there.
Nobody's moving that bar.
It's somewhere.
It's there.
It is there. Well, thanks again, Derek. Tanner, do you want to play us out here?
All right, so that wraps up episode 43 of Headline Heroes. Today we created a villain that was wearing the curse tomb. That's the item. And then his villain name is Quick Change. And were we sticking with Stu being his
Yeah.
Yep.
his
Yeah.
civilian name? All right, so his name is Stu. At this time, as always, we'd like to thank Brett Jacobson for making the art for our show. And Brett is always chasing waterfalls.
Oh,
People tell him not to, but he still does it.
that guy.
I think that's to be admired. I also want to thank Carl Sorensen. Carl did all the audio work for our podcast. It includes the intro music, the outro music, and all the post-production in between. If you are interested in working with Carl on any sort of project, whether that be music for your new indie movie or just post-production for your podcast or anything like that, you can certainly reach out to him at carljsorensen.com.
If you have any articles you'd like to see us discuss, there are so many ways you can get them to us. We have our email, headlineheroescast@gmail.com, our Twitter, @headline_heroes. We do have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Frankly, I do not know the difference. And if you want to get in touch with us, especially if you have any questions for our upcoming 50th episode, we have a voicemail that you can call in. That number is 319-596-6766. As usual, subscribe to us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, whatever you listen to us on. We'd greatly appreciate it. And last, tell a friend about us. That's word of mouth. That's a good thing.
Wow, I couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah, I know. So thank you.
Hey, I just want to check in real quick. Is word of mouth a good thing or is it a bad thing? I can't remember.
All word of mouth is good word of mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard Excelsior is a dumb name.
See, now but here's the thing, Nathan. You're talking about Excelsior.
You got
That's
me.
true.
Fuck.
Yeah. Got you good. All right. And we thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll pick up the next issue of Headline Heroes.